Cookout season is upon us, which means it's time for more meat on a stick. Today on Pork Choices, we're smoking and searing a delicious Wagyu Tomahawk Steak. This bone-in monster is big enough to feed a whole insurrection, which is fantastic because the 4th of July is right around the corner, and America is really hangry. Starting out, we just need ourselves a Wagyu Tomahawk Steak or a choice or a prime. It doesn't really matter, you just need meat on a bone. This one is coming in just at under 3 pounds, and this is such a simple recipe. All you have to do is just not set your eyebrows on fire, and you've pretty much got it. So let's get to the cutting board and get this bad boy seasoned up. Starting out, we're gonna need a baking sheet and a cooling rack. The reason for that is because our meat is gonna get seasoned up and then it's gonna sit on here in the fridge for at least 1 hour. I'm probably gonna go up to 4. This is just a dry brining process that is going to allow a lot of that flavor to seep deep into the meat. And we want to be able to raise our meat so that air can circulate on top and underneath. That is the reason for the cooling rack. No big deal if you don't have it, but it just helps. So first I'm gonna lay down some paper towels, and then we're just gonna lay our meat down on said paper towels. And the reason for that is just because we want to blot this thing dry. We wanna get it as dry as possible. And the fridge will help with some of that, but if we can give it a jump start on that dryness, that's gonna be great. And I know you're asking yourself, why am I mentioning dryness when I'm talking about meat that should be juicy? But this initial dryness is gonna help us get a nice crust on our steak. So we're gonna hit all the sides, we'll flip it over, we'll do the same. And one of the cool things about doing Wagyu versus all the other different cuts of meat is just look at all that marbling, all that intramuscular fat. Fat is flavor, and that's what's gonna keep this steak juicy and make it taste amazing. And then we don't really need to do much trimming, but I am just gonna kind of check this bone and see if there's any meat that needs to be cleaned up off of it. We're really just cleaning it up for presentation. I'd say it looks pretty good. So we'll get our steak onto our cooling rack. We're gonna start with a little bit of W sauce, just as a binder, but also some umami's gonna be in there. Get it all over the top and the sides, and don't worry, we're gonna get that bottom part too. We are using the Life Garlicky Steak Rub. I have been so anxious to try this ever since I tried their shrimp and grit seasoning, which is a Cajun flavored one. This one smells amazing. It's got a great coarse to mid-size grind to it, and it's gonna be perfect for this steak. And I'll make sure I drop a link in the YouTube description so you can go ahead and buy yourself some of this. But if you're in a situation where you're like, hey John, I have this steak today, I can't wait for this to get delivered. Salt, pepper, garlic, SPG. Get you some good kosher salt, some good coarse ground black pepper, not that fine ground stuff. Same thing with the salt, don't use that table salt. And if you wanna get fancy, some granulated garlic. You can use garlic powder, but in a situation where we're trying to build a crust, I would rather use a granulated garlic. It is just a thicker grind of garlic. Pretty much we want all the thickness for this. So we're gonna hit all the sides of our steak, and do not be shy with this. Look how thick this steak is. We're really just seasoning the surface of it, leaving all that middle portion untouched, which is another reason why we're gonna dry brine this so we can try to get some penetration with this flavor. But you do not have to worry about over seasoning this. Pat that in there. Someone asked me once, why do I wear gloves sometimes and other times I don't? Honestly, it depends on how much I'm touching my camera. I do not want to get meat juices on a $5,000 camera. Let's flip it over, go down with that W sauce and season away. Like already this smells awesome. Pat that in there. And then this is just gonna go in the fridge, again, for 1 to 4 hours, but it can go overnight. The longer you let it go, the better it's just gonna get. And away we go. All right, it has been a little over an hour. And as you can see, we got the meat sweats going on here. And all that means is that our seasoning is penetrating into the meat. It's doing some crazy science things that I don't feel like talking about, but just know the flavor has gotten inside. So 2 things I'm gonna do real quick. One, I have me a wireless meat thermometer. This is the RFX Meat by ThermoWorks. And I'm simply going to take it and place it in the center as best as I can. I don't want to get it near the bone, but I do want it to be centered in the meat, and that looks like it's pretty centered because this is an expensive cut of meat and we don't want to just be sitting here guessing it's ready. Also, I'm just gonna make a note of which direction the grain is running right now, so that way when I cut it later and it's covered in its delicious bark, I'll still be able to know which way to cut. Now all we have to do is just get this on the smoker. I've got it set for 250 degrees and we're gonna let it run until this reaches an internal temperature of 110 degrees. All right, our smoker is running at 250 degrees. I've just got a blend of oak, hickory, and cherry pellets here, but you can use whatever you want. We've got a couple of things going on with our setup, one being a large cast iron griddle. We're gonna use this later on to sear, but I wanna put this on a grill now so it can preheat. Later on, we'll be cranking this up to 500 degrees, so I want this to already be like halfway there, nice and hot. We've also got a drip pan here. This is gonna catch all that Wagyu fat that's coming out of the steak. So this is gonna make cleanup a lot easier because if you ever had to fight a grease fire on a pellet grill, you know the nightmare that is. And we can use that fat later on for burgers, roasting vegetables, whatever you want. Don't let it go to waste. So we're gonna wait for this to get to 110 degrees internal internal temperature. Until then, we're not going to bother it. We're gonna close this up and we're not going to open it until it reaches there, because if you're looking, you ain't cooking. All right, our internal temperature has reached 110 degrees, so let's just go ahead and get this off. So you can already tell it didn't drip out as much fat as it normally would, but that is totally fine. We'll still make do. So we're gonna get our steak off, and we're gonna raise the temperature of our grill to 500 degrees. And again, we'll be searing it here on this griddle. So we're gonna give this about 20 minutes, because right now it's probably sitting at about 250 degrees on the surface, but I wanted to get up to 500, or as close to 500 as I can, so that we can get that good sear. High heat is the magic behind a good sear. All right, while our grill is coming up to temp, we're gonna make ourselves a lazy little butter here. Normally I would throw together a compound butter, but we're not gonna do that today. We're gonna let the steak make its own dipping sauce. So I'm taking a whole stick of unsalted butter, I'm just cutting it up into thick pats. Because what we're gonna do, we're gonna rest our steak on top of this and let the heat from the steak melt the butter, mix with the juices from the steak, as well as some of these other things we're gonna put in here. And that, my friends, will be essentially our steak sauce. That feels pretty good. Again, there's a whole stick of unsalted butter. Then we're gonna hit it with about a teaspoon of our Tiger Life Garlicky Steak Seasoning. Whatever steak rub you're using, you can also use that. We're gonna go in with what I am gonna call a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of W sauce. I wanna say maybe about a teaspoon. And lastly, a good squeeze of half of a lemon, fresh lemon. I'm gonna burp the grill. I'm gonna get it up. Just gonna put a little avocado oil down on our griddle. Just gonna brush that down. And then we're gonna place our meat right on here. We're gonna let that go for about 90 seconds. And I am gonna kind of press down on it just to make sure it is making full good contact with that surface. Been about 90 seconds. We're gonna do our best to flip this over. Yeah, that looks great. All right, it's been another 90 seconds. Our steak looks fantastic. We're gonna take it off now because it is gonna still carry over. It's gonna carry over to a medium rare. So I'm gonna put this up top here real fast. We're gonna grab our steak. Then we're gonna put it right on top of that butter. We're just gonna loosely tin it and get it off and downstairs. I just want to show y'all that this carried over perfectly. 132, which is exactly where I really wanted it to be. Now we just gotta let this rest for at least 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna take those juices from all the stuff that's collected in the pan, pour it into a measuring cup, mix a little bit of herbs in there, and then we're good to go. We're just gonna cut this off the bone and eat, because I am starving. All right, it's been 10 minutes. We're gonna get this foil off. That looks awesome, and I already know it's awesome because it smells amazing in my kitchen right now. That Tiger Life seasoning definitely is showing its greatness. So I'm gonna get our steak off. All our juices, all that butter, everything mixed together, I'm gonna pour in here first. Hell yeah, oh man. I'm so proud of myself. We need to add a few things to this. So I'm taking shortcuts here today. I've just got some pre-chopped parsley. I'm gonna do like a pinch of it. I've got some pre-chopped chives. I'm gonna do a pinch of that. Boom. Then I've got some thyme, so I'm just plucking the leaves. I don't need a lot. Overall, I really just want like a teaspoon worth of fresh herbs in here. Let's give that just a quick mixing. Now comes the fun part, getting this thing off the bone. Let's take our guy here. We've got our bone in hand, and we're just going to run our knife down the bone. And as you saw, it came off very easily. There's still some good eating on this bone. So good that I am going to sneak a bite. This piece is just coming off of the bone. That's incredible. It just melts in your mouth. I'm never losing weight. I've had some Wagyu experiences where I'm just kind of like, it's cool. But this is like one of the first times I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Wagyu made the difference. All right, well now we're just gonna take our steak and we're just gonna cut this bad boy up. Cut it as thick or as thin as you'd like. And you always want to cut against the grain. Everything just looks perfect. Man, it's already so juicy. How do I want to plate this? I think I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna fan this out just a little bit so you can really see all the individual slices. I'm gonna absolutely put this bone next to it. I'm gonna pour just a little bit of this over the top because those herbs and things. Nothing wrong with the board sauce. The rest can go in this ramekin. We'll put that right there. We'll hit it with a little bit more parsley and just a smidge more chives. I'll put that on top. Just so you know there's herbs in that butter. Y'all, This was absolutely amazing. And I haven't even dived into the thick of it yet. Take one of these little small pieces here, dipping in that butter. That right there, my friends, is a winner. Hey, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for to pay for recipes in these here inflated times. We also have YouTube memberships. Those are $2.99, and those do the exact same thing, although those help me get over the monthly threshold to get paid out by YouTube. Pick your poison. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I don't know what platform you're watching this on, but I have Poor Choices going on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok. So make sure you're subscribed to all the different platforms. For example, the YouTube version tends to be a little bit more in-depth and longer and more stuff included in it. TikTok's just shorter. Also, it's vertical if you're into that. And Instagram is somewhere in between. Either way, I look forward to seeing you all back here next time. Peace.